Hey guys, I bet you never thought you'd see me again. Welcome to the Texas Fly Fishing Report. Believe it or not, we had a winter here in Texas. The winter's over, spring has sprung. It is March 26, 2019. Can you believe so many years have gone by since I started this? It's amazing. Really, to recap, the winter was a real winter here in North Texas. 3 months of pure hell for fly fishing and fishing in general. Came as a shock after 2 years of not having a winter. So for those of you out there in the hinterlands, it's winter. Not having a winter. Well, we got one. Spring. We had a, what was it called? A super worm moon last week. First day of spring, all good. And there's a lot going on here now, especially behind the scenes. Not a whole lot in the North Texas fly fishing scene right now. We'll get to that in a minute. I've got a list here. I've got so many things going on. I appreciate you coming back to the channel. Things are going to change with the intro on the channel and all kinds of stuff as we go on, but I couldn't wait to go ahead and get this out because number one, I'm going somewhere, leaving the end of this week. And number two is, I know you guys have been waiting patiently for a long time. So, let's get on with it, guys. I'm so happy to be back with you and doing the Texas Fly Fishing Report. It's been really interesting to see these other guys finally working their way into video in Central Texas and having their own Colorado River fly fishing reports and things like that. It's great, man. The more the merrier. You got to remember the reason I'm here, and that is not for me to catch fish or me to show you myself catching fish. All I'm trying to do is get the word out about fly fishing in Texas and show you that you can catch fish. Don't worry. I mean, if it's me that has to do it, that's what it is. But a lot of times, if I can get someone else out on the front of my skiff or something like that and let them do it and show them how to do it, if I can get the video rolling at the same time and balance all those marbles, that's the way I like it best of all. I'm still making and selling products as far as going down the list of things to talk about. This is the fly mat I make, and I've sold, man, a bunch of these by my standards. You know, I guess at the end of the season I started making these and I've sold a dozen so far. I got one to make before I go on my trip, and it's headed to Florida. So I've sold as many in Florida as I have in Texas. Really cool. Works really well. It's basically, you know, for me, I want to evolve the design eventually. This will go for another couple of years, and then we'll come up with something different. You know how that goes. If you go to my website, www.texasflycaster.com, you'll find a way to buy these there. Real safe and real simple. It's online purchase through PayPal, and there's no worries at all. It's perfectly safe. Then there's also on the Texas Flycaster website my fly section where I sell flies custom made for a person who's fly fishing possibly in Texas on the coast or whatever. And what I do is I find out where you're going, then I make the flies to go with you. And it's a simple way of getting you the right flies that are going to catch fish in your box, and hopefully you're getting to throw those and catch fish with those. I've gotten pictures back of bass and all kinds of fish that have been caught with these flies. It's on the website under Pop's Fly Shop. If it doesn't say that, I'm going to make it say that. I used to have an independent website that was called Pop's Fly Shop, which I really liked the name, but it got totally infested with the Chinese and Russians back during right after the election. So I gave up and killed it because it was so bad during that time, the heightened time of hacking. And many of my sites got hacked right after the election. Things seem to be settling down. The Texas Flycaster site is extremely secure. I mean, HTTPS. You want to go to S sites. Don't mess around with these sites that aren't S. So anyway, that's that. Those are two products. Let's see what else I've got here. Oh, of course, I guide and do fly fishing lessons. That's kicking in pretty strong now that spring has come and the weather is favorable. I just can't begin to tell you guys how long the winter was here in North Texas. I'll just keep coming back to that probably all year long. It's such a relief that it's over. Obviously, I'm going to have to recalibrate my thinking next winter and get out of town every chance I get, because it just beats you down mentally to have to stay up here and deal with this. Conditions right now in Texas for fly fishing: warming up. We're getting some more action in the rivers in central Texas. So Texas is a big state, top to bottom, very, very great distance. So the weather patterns are different here. It gets about 5 degrees warmer by the time you get to San Antonio. It's 10 degrees warmer in the valley where I grew up. So you guys in the Rio Grande Valley are in full swing right now. That means if you're fishing like Falcon or places like that, it's on. Springtime bass thing is on. And as far as the coast goes, it seems to be doing the same thing. With the further south you go along the coast, the better it is. I think most of the coast got a kind of a break this year because the weather was so cold. Whether or not the fish reacted to the cold, the fishermen did, and so that means that there were many days where guys weren't putting pressure on the fish on the coast, and that's great because it gives them the fish a chance to relax, for one thing, and number two is to get into their natural patterns instead of being harassed all year round when there's no winter time like the last 2 years, like I said. But it's still cold at night up here. We've got some movement of sand bass and hybrids just because of water being released. We've had plenty of rain this year. The lakes are full. You know, that's all good right now going into spring. You know, only time will tell if we go into a drought or whatever, but USACE, the Army Corps of Engineers, is releasing water in a way that seems very constructive in the last, not just for fly fishing, but just the lakes, it's helping the lakes, everything's going well, and that water's headed downstream at a reasonable pace. What'll happen tomorrow, who knows? What'll happen this weekend, who knows? It's just impossible to tell. But you can definitely check out my Instagram feed on Instagram, and that will give you like a heads up. If you subscribe, or if you want to send me a text message on my phone number, which if you ask for it, I'll give it to you. I can add you to what I call my hotspot list, and what'll happen is if I've got a hot spot where fish are, I'll send you a text message alerting you to a hot spot where you can go fly fish for whatever it is that's going on. Of course, besides the normal stuff that always happens. I mean, we're headed into bass time, we're headed into carp time in another month. It should be Katie bar the door. Should be really great. Another thing related to products is sponsors. Things are changing up a little bit behind the scenes. I've had some that I'm real subtle about, some that I'm real out front with, and it's going to be all jumbled up, and we're going to see how things shake down. Of course, I'm a big fan of Howler Brothers. Prices are kind of high though, so it's getting a little tough for me to even afford it for myself. I mean, it's expensive stuff, but it's good quality. The other thing is I've been really digging these Soft Science shoes. Let me show you these right here. These are my Soft Science shoes right here. Man, those are comfortable. And the ones that are the wading boots, unbelievable. Lightweight, got good grip on rocks. I've used them rock hopping on the riprap at the dams already in the wintertime and here in early spring. Very good, without any spikes or anything, and they're super lightweight. I mean, you cannot beat these Soft Science shoes for weight. So anyway, that's cool. I like that very much. We're gonna probably, be shifting things around, like I said, with sponsors and this and that, and you're gonna notice some differences in the things you see. Starting with this trip this weekend, I'm just going to flow right into that. I'm going to Florida this weekend, guys. I don't like talking about it because I think I might jinx it. I'm from a kid, I believed in jinxes. I don't know who taught me to believe in jinxes, but I do. And so I don't like talking about it, but I'm going to Marathon, Florida, and it's going to be the long route, taking the skiff and driving there. meeting a couple of friends there that I met through this real recovery I did 3 years ago. If you're wondering, I haven't been to the doctor in a while because it's very expensive just to go to the doctor. But everything's good, so I feel good, feel great. Unfortunately, I put on a lot of weight, way too much weight, so I'm gonna have to work on that. But that was a hard thing for the last 2.5 years, just to put on any poundage. So we'll see if I can get that weight back off. I imagine a little time on the polling platform will do that, but we'll see. Other than that, like I said, marathon, I'm not going to talk about it until I come back with something, hopefully. Something that was on my bucket list. Begins with a T and ends with an N. And it's going to be the trip that kind of sets a new trend for the Texas Flycaster season. I really didn't expect to have an off season of winter this year, and sure enough we had one, so it kind of threw me for a loop. Two ways I'm going to deal with that. One is by keeping myself mentally geared to hit the road in the wintertime and go south and east to the Gulf Coast, Texas Gulf Coast, maybe Florida, maybe Louisiana, starting next wintertime. Have to do it. It's just no choice in the matter. It drives me crazy to have this much time off. And then number two is have one big blowout at the beginning of spring, like in the first full month of spring, that is epic. And I don't see any reason not to do that at my old age, and maybe kick a few buckets over on the bucket list and see what falls out. I think that's all I've got. I'm sure I left some things out. It's you know, glad to be back in the swing of things. Hopefully you guys will stay with me. This year will be better than last year when it comes to information. It's been better every year. I wish luck to all my other friends that here in Texas who are starting their own channels and fly fishing reports. Good luck with that, really. It's really a labor of love. And if you guys are needing any of my products, services, be sure you get to www.texasflycaster.com, fill out the contact form, or call me with the phone numbers. I'm going to run it right here, right now. So the phone number is right down here. You can call me on that number, either for more information on products, services, or if you want to get on the hotspot list for texting, text messages whenever I find hotspots. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great week. It's in the weekend. It's going to be 2 weeks before I'm back because I'm going to be gone all next week. And most of that time, more than half of that time, will be sitting here like this, driving all the way to Marathon from Denton, Texas. Talk to you guys later. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you want to see this year. And also, remember, this is not about me, it's about you guys. Send me fish pictures, if you will. I'll put them on Instagram. You can send them by text. The number I just showed you is my texting phone number. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. Go catch some fish.